is we will be creating a GL master, that is advanced to customer account or advanced from customer account, and this will work as a alternative reconciliation account for the customer master. We already discussed earlier as well that there will be an alternative reconciliation account in the vendor. The same purpose is over here, that the reconciliation account or the GL account which is assigned in the customer master, in case of down payment it will be replaced with an alternative reconciliation account, that is advance from customer. So we'll first be following, the first step is to create a ledger account for advance from customer, and the second is we will be defining the alternative reconciliation account for customer down payment. It basically means that we will be defining a special GL indicator where we will be assigning the alternative reconciliation account against the actual reconciliation account for the customer. So after doing these two configuration steps, we will be doing the unit testing, that how the down payment business transactions can be executed in the SAP system. So moving up to the first, that is creating GL account for advance from customer. So first we'll be creating a GL, and this advance from customer has to be taken under which head has to be decided. So when you receive advance from a customer, it is basically a part of your short-term liabilities, because against that, when the whole sales will be done, then this advance payment will be set off with that particular sale. So this customer advance from customer is a part of basically liabilities. So for creating a GL account, we need to go to the transaction code FS00. So we'll go to FS00, enter. Now in this we need to fill a code over here, that with which code we want to create the ledger account. So first you need to decide that this particular account will be a part of your asset, liabilities or expenses or income. So as we discussed, that advance from a customer is a liability for any organization, and that is also a short-term liability. So first we'll be taking a number from the liability part which is available for creation. So for that we need to go and we need to see the list of the GL account. So let's open the list of the accounts. So as you can see, there is a list of accounts over here, and you can see in that the first things which is starting with 1 is a part of asset, which you can check in the account group. The second is starting with the number 2. This number 2 is starting is a part of your liabilities, which you need to take care. So in this liability part, 2 0 0 0 0 0 is already there, 0 1 is there, 0 2 is there. So the next sequence available for creation is 0 3. So what we will be doing is we'll be creating in sequence to this. So the next number I will be taking is 0 3, which is available for me for creating. So this is what the number which I will be creating for advance from customer. So if I need to take the number over here, and then we'll have to go to this create. So create, and here I need to select the group head. So it's basically a part of liability. I will be selecting the liabilities, and liability is a part of balance sheet account, so I need to select the balance sheet account. Then you need to fill the detail of the ledger account over here, that is advance from customer. So the same I would be putting in detail over here, advance from customer account. Moving next now to the control data. In this we need to take the line item display, and the second thing we need to take is the reconciliation account. As already said, this advance from customer is an alternative reconciliation account. So when it's working as an alternative reconciliation account, we need to select the reconciliation account for the account type for which it will be working as an alternative. So we need to select from over here. This is an alternative reconciliation account for customer. So you need to select the customer here. Once you have selected this, this is what you have to do in this particular part. Moving next is to create bank and interest. So in this part we can take G001 as a filled status group. Now once you have selected these all, you can save it and your GL account is created. So you can see this pop up. You need to just proceed it with continue. And you can see the data has saved. That means your ledger account has been created. That description and all the things you can again have a look onto this. So this is your account, advance from customer account, control account you can see over here, and then the create bank account is it. So this is what the first part basically that we need to assign. We need to create a GL account which will be used as an advanced GL over here in this. Now moving to the second configuration step is to define an alternative reconciliation account. So we have created the alternative reconciliation account, that is advanced from customer account, but we need to assign this against the special GL indicator. So we need to go to this path, or there could be a transaction code OBXR which we can move to. So if you move to the transaction /n OBXR, enter, now you can see that this will show you only the customer part of special GL indicator. So in this you can see the account type, that is D, and this D represent to the customer. Now moving over here you can see two things. First is your down payment request, and second is over here is your down payment A. So you can use this down payment A as a part of your indicator. So we will be creating a down payment indicator over here. There are certain indicators which are already defined. You can use them. So I would be using indicator A. Double click on it. It will ask you the chart of account. So you need to fill the chart of account and then proceed, continue. And you can see in this there is a reconciliation account, there is a special GL account. Special GL account is known as the alternative reconciliation account, and reconciliation account is the account which you have assigned in the customer master, on the basis of which all the customer transactions values automatically goes to the GL account. So we need to take the reconciliation account over here. Let's select F4 from your keyboard, function 4. So in this we can see that there is a list of GL account, out of which relates to the customer. So you need to choose out of this which is your customer account, and you can see that this was your service customer account which we assigned when we created the customer. So you need to select this service customer account, and against this account we need to take the special GL account, that is the alternative reconciliation account that we just created in the previous step, that is advance from customer. So a special GL account is known as the account which we just created as alternative reconciliation account. So let's select this, enter. Now over here you can see that we have created this GL list now 200003, that is advance from customer account. That is what we will be selecting over here. So now you can see that this special GL account will work as an alternative account for the reconciliation account, that is this. So this is what you need to take, and then you can go to this properties. You can check the properties as well. Now do you want to save the data first? Yes. Okay. Now you can see this, there are certain options over here which is already defined. So what you do over here is you need to take this off, and you just have to mark this commitments warning. So this is what you need to check. That's it. Save it, and your customization for indicator A, that is down payment, has been done. Moving back, now this is one of the thing which we have done. The another thing is that we will be making down payment request as well. So for down payment request creation, you need to go to this down payment request. It is always a standard, that is F. We always use this as an F as an indicator. So double click on this. You don't need to assign any GL over here, because when we create a down payment request, it never hits any of the accounts. So what you need to do over here is you need to go to properties, and you just have to take care that over here the noted item is there, and you just have to take care that whatever the special GL indicator you are using that have been assigned over here. Like I just created and assigned the ledger accounts or the GL account to my special GL indicator, that is A. So you just have to take care that over here also that A has been assigned. Then only you can create a down payment request against an indicator A. So this is what you need to take care. Okay, save, go back. So this is what you need to do as a part of your configuration in the second step. So in the second step, we just created an indicator A and we have assigned the GL account, that is the alternative reconciliation account, against the reconciliation account. So this is what the configurations which are supposed to be done for down payment of a customer. That's it. Now we can move and we can do some unit testings that are all our customization are working fine or not. So let's move and try some of the transactions to check that all the business transactions are working fine. So first we'll be moving to create a down payment request. As discussed, there are two scenarios. First is we'll be making down payment with the help of a down payment request, and the second we'll be making, or we will be having a down payment without any request. So let's move to the scenario 1, that is receiving down payment with a down payment request. So moving to the transaction, address 37, enter. Now over here you need to select the date. Suppose I take the date as 15th, that I am making the down payment request on 15th of November. You need to put the reference if you want to. Now over here you need to select the customer account to whom you want to make a down payment request. So we'll be selecting a customer account, enter. So you can see this is the customer over here, Xerox LLC. We can double click over here, and now you can see this target special GL indicator. That means by which special GL indicator you want this down payment to be created. In a practical scenario, there are many special GL indicators which are used by the company. So there could be A, there could be B, C, X, Y, and out of those couple of them, you or the business user has to decide that out of them from which indicator the user will be processing the down payment. So that is what you need to the user need, or you need to select the indicator from over here. So as we have defined only indicator A, I will be taking indicator A as a target special GL indicator. But if you have multiple indicators, you can decide some other indicators as well, by which you will be processing your down payment request. So this is what you need to take. Now once we have done, we can click on to the enter. Okay, there is no special GL account defined, account empty. Okay, so let's see why this is coming up. So we need to select this. So there is a error message coming up over here. That's what we need to do in this is let's analyze it. Again, moving to the customization, that is OBXR. In this down payment request, we need to maintain the GL account over here. So you need to select the GL and against that the alternative account. That's what we have missed. We need to maintain it. So that's what has been maintained. Save it. Okay. So you need to maintain your GL account in down payment request as well. So once we have done, now next move to the testing part. F-37, enter, select the date, customer A. Now we can enter on the keyboard, and now you can see that the screen has moved to the second screen. Here you need to put the amount, how much amount of down payment you want to receive from the customer or have received. So suppose I put up as $10,000 as a amount which I would be receiving. In this business area, you need to select your business area. So for that, you need to go to click on F4 and you can select the business area 1210. The due date, you can fill anything after the, suppose I take it as 16/11/2014. And if there is anything you need to put up as a text part, you can go and you can fill your text over here. So text will be advance from customer. So this is what you need to do, and once you have done this, you can save it, or if you want, you can simulate. No, there is no facility of simulating it. However, you can go and you can see the overview. So this will be overview, that one particular line item will get debited and your request will be created in it. So in case of request, we already discussed that only one line item is created, and the down payment request never impact any of the ledger accounts. No value is posted in any of the accounts anywhere in the system. This is just for the acknowledgement that a request has been created, and against this request the accounts department can receive the advance money. So save it and your request will be processed. A document number will be generated. As you can see on the screen, on the footnote, a document number is generated. It says that this is the down payment request. So now a down payment request has been created. If you want to see this request as in the unit testing, you can execute your transaction FBL5N for line item display, and we can check the line item, that is the advanced request. /n FBL5N. This is for customer ledger account. You can select the customer account over here, company code, and open item, and you can execute it. So once you execute it, it shows there is no item selected, means there is no open item over here. If you select your special GL transactions also, you will find that there is no transaction available. Why? Because yet we have not done any special GL transactions in the system, because once a document is posted, that means an advance payment has been received from customer, then only a special GL transaction is created. We discussed the special GL transactions are the transactions which are done in some extreme cases like down payment, advance, or bill of exchange, or guarantees, or which are to be taken in other format, so that it can be easily identified that how many these transactions are and how these things can be identified. So if you want to see your down payment request, we discussed that down payment requests are termed as noted items. They doesn't hit your ledger account actually, but they are there in the system. So if you want to see them, you need to go to this noted item tab and you need to select this, because request is a part of noted item. They are noted somewhere in the system, but that will not be impacting any of the business or any of the values in the ledger account. So selecting this noted item, and you can execute this, and you will see that the down payment request is there over here. This is it, which we just created a couple of minutes back. If you want to see this, you can select this and you can go to this and you can display the document. So as you can display over here, you need to go to this call up document overview, and you can see there is one line item only, the request which we just created. So whenever a request is made, the request can only be visible through this noted item part over here, which we just have seen over here in it. That is what need to be selected. So that is it. We just created a request, and now we'll be receiving the down payment against the request. The transaction code for receiving the down payment or advance from customer is F-29. So we'll be going to execute the transaction /n F-29 so as to receive the advance money from the customer on the basis of the request. So when you go to F-29, you can see the screen. You need to select the date. Suppose we created the request on 15th. So suppose the actual advance payment is received on 16th, very next day. We need to select the customer. We need to select the spatial GL indicator, and the spatial GL indicator should be same that of the target spatial GL indicator which was mentioned in the request number. If it will not be same, the system will give you an error. So we need to take it as A was been defined. Then you need to select the bank account in which you will be receiving your money. So it will be 1000002, or we can even take our own original account 1000001. Now we can select the business area and then the amount over here. So the request was made for 10,000. So 10,000 has been selected. If you want to write any text, you can write it, advance from customer. But now we have yet not selected the request. We need to select the request by which the down payment has been made. So we can go to this request. On the header you can see request. Need to click onto this request, and it will take you to the screen where there is only one request lying as of now. There could be multiple requests lying from different customers, or maybe from the same customer multiple down payment requests could be there with different amounts against different sales order or bills. So you need to select this particular transaction, this line against which you want to receive the down payment. Once you have selected, we can go to simulate the transaction. So once you simulate the transaction, clicked, you will see the line item or the accounting entry has been reflected to you as a preview. So this is the accounting entry preview where the bank is debited with $10,000, whereas the customer account is credited with $10,000. You can see the indicator over here, A, that specifies that this is a down payment, and this 40 posting key is for debiting the GL account and 19 is for crediting the customer account. The line item is 0001 and the second line item is 002. So once you find that this transaction is alright, you can go to the option of posting it and you can post the document. So document is now getting posted. You can see a separate document number 1400006 has been posted, and in case you want to see this document again, you can go to the transaction FB03, enter. You just need to remember the document number because at times you need to type it. So as of now it's already reflecting over here the same number, but you should know it. So the fiscal year is 2014, and now you can enter on the screen. Once you enter, it will show you the document number, that is it, FB03. You can see the document where the posting keys are there, the spatial GL indicator A is there in it, and it. So this is how you can create a request, and against that a down payment can be received. Now moving to the next is you can check the balance again with the customer line item, that is FBL5N, as we checked earlier for noted item. So over here you need to select the customer, the company, open item, and whenever you make a down payment is a part of spatial GL transaction, and you can remove this noted item that is not relevant for a normal day-to-day transactions. So you need to select this normal items and spatial GL transactions. Once you select this, you can execute the report, execute, and now you can see that there is a $10,000 of minus figure in it, that is credit figure in it, that means this much of advance has been received. How can you identify that this is an advance? For that you need to see that special jewel indicator. There must be an indicator mark in it, must be filled. So how can we see that? You can go to this layout, and from this right hand side you can select your layout, and in this you can search your special GL indicator, dragging down so you can see it. Okay, so you can see that special GL indicator is there. You can take it from the right to left side. Anything else you want from over here, you can even take those things from there to here, like text you can take. And now I'm just moving on, enter. So you can see that the special GL indicator A is reflected over here, which shows that this is a down payment received from the customer. Even we can retain the text in it, and the text is also reflected over here in this part. So that is it, which you need to take care. This is how the customer ledger is reflecting as of now. So the whole cycle says that once a request has been made, a down payment is received, the further cycle, a whole sales, that is what we can say is order to cash in normal words. Order to cash means when the order is made, then the goods are delivered, then the payment invoices is raised, and the payment is received. So in between, at times there is advance payments before the order. That is what we did over here, and after that you receive the invoice, sorry, you raise the invoice to the customer. So once you raise the invoice to the customer, after that the remaining payment is made from the customer side. So let's raise a customer invoice, and then we'll be receiving the remaining payment, and we'll see how the accounting is done and how the clearing activities are done, where the down payment and the normal payment are knocked off or cleared off against the invoice booked against the customer. So for booking the invoice for the customer, we need to go to transaction FB70. Moving up to FB70, enter. We'll be booking an invoice of around $20,000. Suppose $10,000 is already received as an advance. So the remaining $10,000 will be received after the invoice will be booked. So first I will be booking the invoice. Customer is selected. Then you need to select the invoice date. Suppose I take the date as 18th/11/2014, and this date also 18th. You need to select the amount. Suppose the amount of the invoice is $25,000. Customer invoice, you can put the invoice number over here. Then you can move ahead to your GL account. In the GL account you will be selecting the, let's see what, the sales GL or any other revenue GL you can select over here, against which you can debit your customer. System is slightly slow. So it's working slow as comparatively. So you can see the list. In this you need to select any of the revenue GL, and the revenue GL is with the digit 3. So over here there are two revenue GL, one is sales account and another is cash discount. So we'll take cash sales account as a revenue GL over here. Double click, selected. Now we need to put the amount, that is $25,000. We need to move next is to the business area, selected. So this is what you need to select. Once you have selected these all, you can click onto the enter, and you can see there is a message displayed, $10,000 down payment exists. That is what we did in the last transaction. We received a down payment. So system always gives you a message when we book the invoices against for that customer that there is any down payment or not. So if you receive the message, means the down payment exists, otherwise there is no down payment for the customer. So now we can go to simulate the transaction, enter. Okay. So you can see when we simulated the transaction and entered, when the warning message was there, the screen shows you that this is the preview of the accounting which is generated and which can be posted in the system, and this is what we will be posting in the system as a customer invoice. So this is all right. You can go to the post transaction and you can post it. So the document will get posted, a document number is generated in the screen, and if you want you can see this in your customer ledger. Let's open a new session, and in this session we will be looking after to the customer ledger as well. So over here you can see FBL 5N, the customer ledger. You can execute this report, and here you can see that now there are two line items. One is an advance payment of 10,000 and another is of 25,000 of invoice, and these can be distinguished further with the document type. DZ is for customer payment, that is the customer incoming payment, and DR is always used from the FI, that is accounts or finance department, for booking customer invoice, that is TR. Whenever from the sales and distribution module the accounting entries are hit, like the billings and all, for in that case the document types are different. So DR is for booking a direct customer invoice from the SAP FI module. Now, so you can see now that there is a net balance of 15,000 which is due on the customer. So this is how much has to be received from the customer side, $15,000. So we booked the invoice of $25,000. Now we will be receiving the remaining payment from the customer. So for receiving the remaining payment, the transaction for that is F-28, if you remember when you did the AR, accounts and receivables. So F-28, you can go over here to select this, or in fact we can move ahead. First we'll do this incoming payment later on. Now next, first we can move to this down payment clearing, payment clearing. So customer down payment clearing is what? Once we raise the request, we receive the down payment from that, and the down payment received is with the indicator A. So now I want that, I don't need that down payment indicator. I want that particular document of $10,000 with an indicator A to be converted from a down payment to a normal payment from customer. So how can I do that? That is what can be done with this transaction of customer down payment clearing, where you clear the down payment and a normal payment document is generated by the system for that particular customer. So let's move to F-39 and we'll see how this has been done. F-39. In this you need to select the date. Select, suppose I select the date of 18th, and you need to select the customer. The customer is selected. Over here you need to select the invoice reference. So invoice reference means the customer reference which we just created. we booked the customer over here, FBL5N. You can see what is the customer number we booked. So the customer number we booked is 18. This is the document number we booked for the customer. You can take that and you can fill it over here. So you need to put that customer invoice number in the invoice reference field always. Otherwise you will not be able to clear the customer down payment. So you need always to have this. And if you need any reference, you can write it over here to normal payment. So once you have done this, now you can go to process down payment. And you can see this is the down payment which was there. You can select this and now you can go to simulate, and once you simulate you will see that the line item with indicator A has been debited. When we actually received the down payment, this was on the credit side, so debited now, so this will be knocked off, and another line item of 10,000 with a normal indicator will be created over here. So you can go and you can post it. So this has been posted. Once it has been posted now, so now we can go to the ledger account and you can refresh the ledger and you will see the change. So now the change you can see is that the indicator has moved. Let's take the layout. So you can see the spatial gel indicator been taken over here. So you can see now the indicator is blank. Even the document type of DZ has moved from DZ to DA. Why? Because that indicator, down payment indicator document, has been cleared from red to green. That means it has been cleared and a normal customer payment line has been created by the system, because we just created the customer request, cleared. We have just cleared the customer down payment. So once you clear it, the indicator will get cleared off and a normal customer payment line item will be created. So that is what has been created over here with this 10,000. So once this has been done, now we can proceed to the remaining payment from the customer, that is of $15,000, so that the whole cycle can come over. So now moving up to the incoming payment, F-28, enter. Need to select your date. Suppose I take the date as 19th only. Then select your bank account, business area, and the payment now. So the payment is of 25,000 invoice. 10,000 has been received as an advance. So now $15,000 is what is left. Take the date. So this is the final payment, and you need to select the customer over here. So once you have done this, you can go to this process open item, and now you can select these two line items. So these are already selected, and you can see the balance of 15,000, and outside we just have mentioned 15,000. So this is how things move, and this has been done. So you can go to your simulate, and this is what the entry is generated, where the bank is debited with $15,000 and the customer is credited with $15,000. So once this document is fine, you can go and you can post it. Posted. Document number is generated as of you can see in the screen below. So this is how things move. Over here you can see the document number. Now if you want to see, you can again go to your ledger account over here, and when I refresh it, you will see the changes, that there will not be any line item over here. All this red will move to green. So refreshing it, So you can see now there is no item selected, means there is no open item left in the system for that particular customer. Why? Because the whole cycle has completed. The payment, a down payment has all been now settled with against the invoices. So once this all cycle is done, the system moves this open items to cleared items so that there is no confusion while looking after to the customer ledger account, and it makes things more easier for reconciling the things, for reconciliation, because things become easier. There will be only limited line items or transactions which are pending, that will be reflected on your customer ledger. But still, if you want to see the customer line items that has been cleared already by the system, even you can see that. So if you want only the pending transaction, that is open item. If you want to what has been already cleared, that means there is no confusion, everything is okay in those invoices and payment is already done without any delay or restrictions or pending things. So you can go to this clear items and you can put the date range over here. So suppose I put the date range of 1919th, and now I can execute this and you will see that your line item is reflecting over here. So these are the line items which were there. This DZ was the down payment line item which was been cleared later on with TA, so as to convert the down payment to normal item. And later on this, okay, these are the things which is there. 15,000 is dollars, sorry, $15,000 is the actual last payment which we received as a payable from the customer. 10,000 is what been converted from the down payment request to the normal payment, and $25,000 was the invoice. So DR is the customer invoice, DA is the customer down payment which has been converted to customer normal payment, and DZ is the customer payment. So you can see these all has been cleared. There is a clearing document number also there. You can see the clearing date is also mentioned too. Clearing date means the date on which this invoice has been settled against their payments and things are clear. So this is how it's been done. So the first scenario of creating a request, then making a down payment against it, and then after down payment how the down payment can be converted to a normal customer payment has been done with FDES 39. And we again book the invoice against that, then we receive the pending payment, and we saw how all the transactions have been settled against the invoice, and the invoice has been settled with against the payments. So that is what been done in the first scenario. The second scenario is when there is no down payment request, a direct down payment can be received. So for that there is nothing else to do, we just need to execute FDES 29 directly. So once you go to execute FDES 29, in the second case you just have to select the same things as we did in the first case. Just the difference is in the first case we went to this request so as to select the request number against which the down payment will be received. In the second case there is no request, so we'll not select any request from the system. Like we can go to post a down payment now. Suppose I take the down payment of $20,000. So this is what the screen which I need to fill: the date, type, company code, currency, customer account number, the special JIL indicator by which I will be receiving the money from the customer as a down payment. Then the bank details had to be filled, text if anything is required to be filled in that. So once you fill these, you can now move to the next, that is enter. So once you enter, it will take you to the next screen. Again I need to select the amount, that is $20,000, business area. That's it. Now once you have done this, you need to go to simulate. So you can see the difference that in the first screen, in the first case, when the down payment request was there, we moved on the header and we selected the request. But when there is no request, when you enter, it takes you to the second screen and where you fill the next line item details. So once this has been filled, you can go to simulate the transaction, and you can see the transaction have been simulated, and it shows what is the entry which will be posted in the system once the preview is okay. So once this preview is okay, the bank is debited with $20,000 and the customer is credited with $20,000, and the down payment indicator is over here A. You can see that. So if everything is fine, you can go and you can post, click on the post button, and the document is posted. So this is how the down payment can be made without any request. So you don't need to select the request, as there is no request in the system against that. So now if you want to check the ledger of the customer, earlier there was no item because all the item got cleared for this particular customer. Now you can see that when you execute it, there is one particular item as a open item, that is the pending item, and that is $20,000, which is the advance payment which we just received. So after this, the next of the things will move as usual as we did in the first case, that is the down payment request. So against the down payment request, you receive the down payment, but now there is no request, so a direct down payment can be received. And once the down payment is received, you can simply go ahead and you can book the invoice, and the rest of the payment can be selected from the customer through F-28. So you can have the incoming payment with the transaction F-28, and then once you have received that and there is no problem, you can move on and you can clear the transactions among themselves. So this is how your down payment of customers has been done. And even you can check your balances. Right now there is only 20,000 of balance in your customer ledger account, and the same can be seen with the transaction FD10N. So if you move to FD10N, enter, you can see over here as well, execute, and right now the balance over here is what? Okay, there's a mistaken. What you need to do is fine. So you can see the balance over here right now is nothing, but my ledger account shows that there was a balance of $20,000, but that $20,000 was a down payment, so that will be reflected to you under the special ledger, general ledger account. So you need to go to special ledger account, and you can see over here there is a down payment of 20,000 now that has been reflected. So this is how you can check your balances through the customer balance display report, that is FD10N. So this is all about the down payment request, customer down payment request. You can process these things, you can create a multiple spatial GL transactions, so that you can test things with multiple spatial GL indicators, how things move, and how the request is created and cleared among themselves, and how this whole settlement is done against the invoice with the rest of the payment from the customer. So this is it all about the down payment. The down payment topic is over. We'll meet in the next training again with a new topic. Till then, keep practicing. Thank you.